the logistical part. You're coming in and brand new staff. A lot of us haven't worked together. We're trying to combine ideas to have certain ways to structure practice and some of that stuff. And it's biggest part is brand new for 110 young men. So really proud of those guys being able to follow in line and kind of what we're doing. And we hit on it in a team meeting this morning, and those guys did a really good job. Proud of the staff too when it comes to that, because those guys are kind of leading the charge for their position units and stuff like that, and getting them where to go. So really proud of just the overall organization that we had. Some stuff we need to tweak as a coaching staff, but other than that, I thought the floor practice went really well.
In this day and age of the portals and transfers, sometimes it's hard to have that senior leadership that's been here and done it. Have you seen guys step up, being either new or old?
Yeah, we do. It's kind of a mixture of both, which is good. Again, and like you said it, the world we live in, it's like you have a 30-year roster is going to be new every year almost. And so, between, Caden Veltkamp and CJ Doggett and Jay Will, and, I could go on about a lot of those guys. But really great leadership. One of the big things I'm proud of is just the locker room is really healthy right now. And those guys are all really close. And, I'm an offensive guy by trade, but you can't win football games by just being good on offense. You've got to be good on offense and defense. And I preached that to my staff yesterday in our staff meeting, and I preached that to the team this morning. We're not going to be a team divided. We're not going to have offense versus defense type mentality. We're a team mentality. And, those guys, those leadership guys have kind of taken that and helped me voice that as well. And so that's been really good.
Obviously, still in the early part of spring here, but has there been any message or common goal to the team as a whole, and how do you kind of go about enacting that in practice?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just take advantage of our opportunities. Again, who knows what spring football is even going to be like a year from now, and everything we do is an opportunity to get better. Whether it's in the weight room or it's conditioning or it's meeting rooms or walkthroughs or practice. I kind of hit our staff and our team with, we get 15 opportunities this spring to go be as good as we can be, and keep taking this program where it needs to go in the right direction, and just taking advantage of those opportunities, because there's not a lot of them out there. That's been the biggest thing for me. I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. I want to keep the main thing, and that's the football right now, and just trying to really keep the camaraderie in the locker room good, and get these guys bought into what we're trying to do here.
Coach, I noticed you guys you and your staff use the hashtag ATFA. What does that term mean, and what's your message to people?
Yeah, all together Florida Atlantic. Because we're all in this together. I've got 4 kind of core values, if you will, and number 1 is be a family. And so we want to be a family around here, and so that's just what we kind of talk about, and we're going to do it together. And so that's kind of the message that we're rolling around out there, and it's been good for us.
Coach, obviously when you're still in shorts and not full contact, only a certain amount can be, figured out. But in your experience as a coach, what are you looking for in these early practices when you're not yet live?
Yeah, execution, alignment, assignment, lining up in the formations the right way, defensively, understanding, hey, is it, formation in the boundary, where's the field, where's the strength, stuff like that. That's the biggest thing. Again, as an offensive guy, running the football for me is really hard in shorts and t-shirts. But it's stuff like that you just got to kind of understand that what you're kind of going in with these first couple of days, and just the helmets and the spiders practices. So the biggest thing is just lining up, and understanding your job, no matter what that is. If you're, and that's not just the guys between the white lines. It's guys on the sidelines too, being teammates that are substituting in here and there. It's everybody. So that's the biggest thing you're looking for these first couple of days is alignment, assignment, everybody doing their job and understand their role and being good teammates.
Coach, it's a common practice, whether in college or the pro, that a offensive-minded first-year head coach is also the OC, which will be the case here. How do you balance handling the offense and overseeing everything?
Yeah, one thing that I pride myself on is I'm not a procrastinator. I get ahead. My wife probably didn't love it, but I spent a couple of days over spring break up here getting ahead on about 5 practices, and getting ahead and just making sure that I'm, very useful with my time. I'm an early morning guy. The hours don't bother me, but I'm also a family man, so I try to knock stuff out and go home and see my wife and kids. But it really, man, you surround yourself with good people that you can give some stuff to work on for you, and I've done that here, and that's, a huge part of being a head coach, right, is surround yourself with the right people and hiring the right staff, and I feel like I've done that. And the scripting and running the meetings and all that stuff just kind of what I do. And so you feel like you don't nothing's really changed. For me, it's just more of now being around special teams and getting special teams going, and really just diving in the mind of Brett Dewhurst too, and trying to figure out what we're trying to accomplish on defense. And he's the defensive coordinator. I'm not, right? I'm the head football coach, but I do feel like I know how to attack defense, and so that's kind of more where I'm going to try to help him whenever we get to game plan mode and some of those things. But right now it's a little easier too, just because we're scripting day one and you're moving on day one, and Thursday will be day two, and I've kind of got a schedule on how I install plays and how we'll practice it and stuff like that. So I've already got ahead through the first 5 practices, and it's been an easy balance for me so far.
Coach, just a quick question regarding Kyle. How is the balancing done with his time between here and baseball?
He's a special young man, I'll tell you that. I mean, what he's doing on the diamond and then what he's doing out here on the field for us is really special. We've worked, great with the baseball staff clearly, and, I love that he's playing both, you know what I mean? He wants to play both, and he's thriving in both, and so we're trying to work with each other. Luckily for us, we do a lot of our stuff in the mornings, and baseball does theirs in the afternoon. So, he's been phenomenal being around when he needs to be around, but then, going and playing unbelievable there on the baseball diamond when he gets that opportunity as well.
So when there's a crossover potentially with them playing a Saturday game, you have a practice, will there be a priority towards football?
Yeah, we haven't crossed that path quite yet, to be honest with you. That's something that I'll, when that does happen, him and I'll sit down and we'll have a conversation. And again, we'll kind of see where, how that works out. Again, I'm all for him playing both. It doesn't, Patrick Mahomes played baseball for a year for us at Texas Tech too, so we understood how to balance the two. So again, haven't crossed that path yet. When we do, we'll figure it out, and I don't think we'll have any issues.
Okay.
Structure-wise, is there anything you've changed to the practice structure at all, and has there been any good response, negative response at all from the locker room to that?
The biggest thing that I'm a huge believer in, and I haven't been around it a lot, you do it occasionally, but just rolling the ball out and playing football. I think that you get, football is so situational, and we want to practice the situations, which you absolutely have to do. You have to practice third downs, you have to practice short yardage, 2-minute drill, 4-minute drill, coming out, backed up, all the stuff, right? But a lot of the game is still played on first and second down, and then you're naturally going to get the third down sometimes. You're naturally going to have to defend an explosive play after an explosive play. So that's one thing that I'm big on that's probably a little bit different, is we're going to put the ball down and we're going to play football. And what happens, happens. And again, today we're just installing day one, offense and defense. So there wasn't really a short yardage call. So you get the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 a couple times. Hey, we're running just what's on the script for the day. And at the end of the day, that's still football, and you've got to still block the man in front of you, and you've got to play defense, you got to stay in your gap, and you've got to do your job. So that's the biggest thing, and I think guys love playing football, and you'll get to talk to some of my student athletes here shortly, and I'll tell you that just playing the game of football is nothing quite like it. So that's something a little bit different we'll do here.
We spoke about the vets and how they've really impacted this team, but how have you seen the younger guys, all the early enrollee freshmen, start to adapt to the college football lifestyle?
They're coming along. To me, it's invaluable if you can be here early as a mid-year enrollee, just to get your feet wet in college life, academics, tutoring, all that. But also now you're getting into the nutrition aspect of a Division I football program. You're in the Division I strength program, and then the football is. I think the biggest thing for those guys is the speed of the game right now and trying to adapt to that. Really just being day one for us here, and we did some walkthroughs and stuff like that. The speed's different, but really proud of those guys as far as the first 2 months of being able to come in and adapt to the college lifestyle, academics, handling their academics, and then the weight room has been really impressive in the weight room.
What else?
With the spring game, I haven't talked to you since the announcement about it. Some programs decide not to do it. You opt to do it. What went into that decision?
Again, man, I love playing football. There's going to be a million reasons why you may or may not do it. To me, in this football program, we still got to get better, and not playing a spring game to me is taking our opportunity away from, not only us as coaches, us as players, but our fan base as well. I think it's going to be a great environment for us to be able to come out here on a Friday night, and should be unbelievable weather, and let the local fan base and hopefully a lot more people come get a taste of. Small taste. We won't do a whole lot as far as scheme and stuff like that. We get a small taste of where we're heading here at Florida Atlantic.
Thank you.